And we are on.
Here we go.
Oh, wow. You timed that perfect. How did you do that?
He does the count in. He does the count in.
I've never been. Oh, is that what it is?
I watched you press the button.
But it's not an instant thing. There's
No, I
always
know.
a 3, 2, 1.
I asked you about it last week, and you said, no, it does this. And it's like, okay, I worked that out.
All right. It is Saturday, and you know what that means. Technology rocks. Here we are. We have a special guest, long-time coming guest in the house today. Matt Scarborough from Kaleidescape is in studio and kind enough to spend his Saturday and I'm not good at multitasking, sorry. There we go. And so Saturday, and if I had a bullhorn, I don't know what button I would hit anyway. So again, horrible at multitasking. He is in studio today, and he's going to give us the lowdown on all things Kaleidescape. So many things. I mean, good grief, you guys have released what the past few years, Matt? How many products have you released in the past 2 years? This is pretty aggressive for you guys.
Yeah, a bunch. So, we started with, the new players with the M, the E, the V in the last 2 years. So we've done that, and then we've changed around the Terra server.
And you also picked the names for these, right?
I pick all of them, yeah, for sure.
No, it's awesome to have
What is the strategy behind the letters?
They don't know.
It's just
that's above my
If he tells you, it's top secret. It's classified.
Apparently, it's all done through not for Kaleidescape, but like through engineering. So I'm guessing it just works that way with everybody because even with IMAX, we're just like their naming schemes for our projectors. They're just kind of like, wow, that one was super clever.
Yeah. So we've been trying. I mean, we're Team Kaleidescape here, always have been, and just you know me. Actually, this is the person that screwed me up forever. He's the one that I tell the story. I put the thing in the dealer portal, submitted it, and then literally he appeared the next day. And Tony was here, and he had shown Tony. And then as soon as I walked in the door from a walkthrough, he goes, "Hey, Kaleidescape's here." I was like, "Really? That's quick?" And he was like, "I don't know what the heck he did to that system, but I'm not gonna say a thing. You just need to go see it." And that was it. And then I accused him. I was like, all right, so what'd you do? What settings did you change? He was like, nothing, dude. You're holding the remote. I had to get up to change the input every time. And I was like, all right, yeah, no. So that was it. And I've known a Kaleidescape for a while. How long have you worked with Kaleidescape?
I started in 22.
Okay, so 22. So
4 years.
But you've been in the AV industry for how long?
Since 05.
Okay, so very similar career path to me as well, so around the same timing and everything. And you and I played peekaboo with Kaleidescape that whole time just because it started as an overglorified kind of disc changer in a way, and then it categorized everything, and they saw a need for that, which if any of you guys ever owned a 200 disc Sony disc changer back then, that where you couldn't see the titles of your movie, you would understand exactly why Kaleidescape exists. Because again, there was no way to keep track of what disc went where, and so it was just kind of a chaotic thing. And then here you are, now it's your, I would say this is what you were built for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, take it. So, all right. So kind of take us into the world. I started this conversation with Matt. Matt and I have had several conversations because he's a movie freak. I'm a movie freak. Everybody in this room is a movie freak, including the person that's not in the room is a movie freak. Kind of take us into the thought process of the way social media kind of interacts with you guys, and I started to me. Loving the product, started just firing shots to fire shots and all of these things, but it seems like you guys can't get a break, on this thing. So it's just, how does that, when you are you just swimming in your own lane, or are you trying to think, okay, what does the audience want to see? How are you crossing that bridge, and what is the thought process between like a product release and, okay, this is what we're going to do?
How many questions are you going to ask before you let him answer one?
Let's go back to question 1.
So kind of take me into that process.
So yeah, I mean, I'll just tell you, right? So 2005 was my first experience with Kaleidescape. I grew up in North Carolina, so I went to Audio Advice, looked around, was like, oh, what is this? I'd never seen this before. I've got to have it. Because I was that guy that I got started. I was at Best Buy every Tuesday buying new releases. And, one day they were just like, hey, like, you're here every week. Like, you just want to get a job. And I was like, oh, you know what? That'll support my habit. Like, that'll be cool. And so that was my gateway into, like, the industry. So, same thing, right? Audio Advice, I see it. Oh, this is $35,000. Okay, never mind. I'll never be able to have that.
And was this the disc changer or the?
This was the vault system.
They hadn't started the whole store thing.
Correct. Okay. Yeah, this was a vault, 3U server, everything like that.
Yep.
Did this copy your movies into it?
Correct.
And that became a non-event. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was a very big gray area. No, for sure. And that's
to your point, I had one of those Sony 200 disc with a keyboard input, so I'm literally typing in everything, and then I went on and made a spreadsheet, right? That said, okay, number 1 is this, and then that way I could flip through, right?
So it was a very high tech redneck approach.
Yeah.
I need one of those.
But same thing. For me, I feel like I've seen every side of it, and I've done every side of it. So because it was 2015, 16, it was going to be another $20,000 for me to invest back into my Kaleidescape system, right? So I was like, you know what, like, let me try this Plex thing. So I went to Micro Center. I spent $6,000 on a Plex server, put 100 terabytes in it, and I physically spent 3 months ripping and doing.
And how many computers?
Well, still, like, I still have that one, right?
Oh, you do.
But what is my time worth, right? Like, but back to your question is, we're trying to get everybody into a Kaleidescape ecosystem, right? And that's where the M and the E come in at, a $3,000 option,
right?
Or $2,000 or $3,000, right? I mean, even 2 years ago, it was a $10,000 entry point into Kaleidescape, And listen, we're always going to have somebody that, oh, if it was $1,000, we would get it, or if we had $1,000 player, if it was $500, like we would, But
I felt like he warned you about me.
No, not at all. He's listened to the show. See, there's a whole thing called Technology Rocks that we put out there on the internet.
That's right.
Where people can actually listen to what we say before.
Gotcha. Okay,
that's what it is.
But I think now we've got a good variety of players and entry points into Kaleidescape.
Sure.
I listened to your podcast last week, right? Like, even the M at $2,000 is the same price as that Blu-ray player, right? The
Magnetar or the Oppo, or even a vintage Oppo. It is still, the street value is still not $900 to $2,000.
So that's the goal, is to get everybody into Kaleidescape. Everybody can have that Kaleidescape experience,
right? So you were a media server guy. So I was a media server guy. In fact, the part of Ian and I's thing was building media servers and I remember. So my first thing with Kaleidescape is I was sitting back when this was home entertainment. I was sitting in this room. Kaleidescape came in. They brought this giant thing in, and this was this was like circa 2011, somewhere in there, maybe 2012. So they still had the vault stuff. They were kind of tiptoeing into the digital download thing, movie store thing. And so they were introducing, and I remember even working for the store, I was sitting and I said, hey, what's the price point of this thing? Same reaction. It was like, oh yeah, no, an entry level system is $22,000, and then it goes up to, sky's the limit with how many players you want to add, and this and this and that. And I was looking, and I remember asking, I don't remember the rep's name at the time, but I remember asking the guy, I was like, isn't there a cheaper way to build a mousetrap? I was like, isn't there a cheaper way? And he was like, no, not really, not if you want the best quality. Challenge accepted, and so that's kind of how I jumped into the Plex world and jumped into the WDTV Live world and all this other things, and then learned 5 computer processors later, multiple disk burning machines later, trying to build my own library.
Still going strong here.
Still going strong on the cross of the room. and then found out, and then it wasn't really until I think I would say the last 8 years or 9 years now that really started being like, okay, this is what this thing was made for. This is what you guys I mean, Matt, was there a trajectory all along that was there a progression that this is what you guys were trying to do on the digital world, or did you just kind of morph into that?
I don't know what it was before I got there.
Right.
But I can tell you, like, with our new CEO who's been there for going on 5 years or a little over 5 years now. I mean, we are completely a technology company.
Right.
Right. And so he's very forward thinking, but he also is very protective of those clients that we have that have premier systems. Right. So we're still supporting those clients that have the older systems. Because that's how he got started.
So you're still changing Blu-ray player belts.
We're still supporting those customers, right? We still have some of those servers. We still have some vaults to support those clients, and then obviously the goal is to move them into the new 4K realm. But yeah, I mean, we're always forward thinking, right? And that's where this new players come out, right? We 8K. We were selling 8K Samsungs 8 years ago.
So
with no content.
Right, with no content. Still no content.
Well, kind of similar to how when 4K evolved, right? 4K evolved, there were TVs, but still no content, right?
Yeah, and I think it's always good to be, more future-proof than anything.
I think you knew 4K wasn't going to go away, but 8K just seems to have died to death a little.
A little bit. It just was...
It's kind of got Alzheimer's now.
I don't want to say failure to launch. It was just, you got to remember where it came from. And it's Sony. Sony was the parent brain behind a lot of that stuff, and like Sony does, they're innovators. They're very similar to a modern day Panasonic. Back in the day, Panasonic got out of production, they got into innovation, they were releasing new technology, they were doing all those things, and I think Sony, if you kind of look at their movements now with TCL. In the mergers and all these things that are going on, you're starting to see a trajectory of more of an innovation side, less production side of things. I know Ray has seen that in the cinema industry now, where they've kind of moved out completely of this. Ray, have you heard any buzz about any of these things? The Kaleidescape, the 8K. I mean, they were at the launch of the Strato K. Like,
as far as what do you mean?
Like as far as is there any kind of Kaleidescape buzz with IMAX right this second that you've heard of coming?
No, I haven't. But I mean, not with IMAX, but I've heard Kaleidescape going into other chains. So I always thought that it would be the way that we are now post COVID is that's something I think that can really strive. In the industry, especially if you have the partnerships between Kaleidescape and the studios and distributors and the theater exhibitors would absolutely love it, and I think that's something that they can really thrive on. But as far as how they're going to use it, I'm not sure.
Gotcha. So I just thought it was interesting that when you guys did a press release of it in California, that everybody 8K associate. Well, they're part of I know IMAX is part of the 8K association.
I didn't know that.
Oh, well, there you go. Now you know. No, they were there, and I was just like, wait a minute, they're there. What does this mean? Well, it means they were there. That's all it means. Because I asked Matt, I was like, Matt, what does this mean?
Don't leave us out.
Just means it was there. They were there.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, man. It just means they were in the building. So we kind of covered the Strato K last week and just kind of got into they released it. I think everybody got hung up on the 8K part, and it's like, no, guys. It has a nitrous button. It's just wait.
In case of emergency.
Right. Yeah. But it's not. So tell us about this new 4K cinematic. Take us into, for somebody that knows nothing about 4K cinematic, take us into what does that mean for the end user? What does that mean for the current Kaleidescape people that have that? That have a Kaleidescape with UHD already. What are they getting out of that?
Yeah. And I think you're right. I think to me the 8K is the secondary part of this player, right? The big thing, the big change, and I think this is gonna, obviously it's already helped us with this release, but so 4K cinematic, these are exclusive files, and these files put to bed the physical media debate.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, where our old files we were averaging around 90 gigs a title, right? So your 4K discs are either going to be a 66 or 100 gig, disc. These are coming in averaging, in that 120 to 130 range. And then you introduce those files are at 444 chroma. So, you talk about something that has, zero color compression now. Same audio, everything like that. But yeah, I mean, so that's the big thing is better color, right? Sharper lines. I was watching F1 the movie the other day. Like the raindrops are different. All right, text is sharper. Things like that. But yeah, like I said, these are exclusive titles that we're getting directly from the studios. If you have the only way to watch them, the cinematic 4K is on the K. But if you are a Kaleidescape user and you have purchased any of our 4K movies, you do get every version for free. So you're going to get 4K cinematic. You're going to get HDR, Dolby Vision, SDR if it was available.
So it will just download the one suitable for the player.
Yes, sir. Yep, absolutely.
Well, in most cases, they're only the player itself will only let you download what'll work. It's like so even like we have an ancient but older system, legacy system that's called a Strato S, which was originally designed mainly for dealers, so they could take it to people's houses and things like that. But it'll only let us do the highest it'll go, and that's the way the players typically are working at this point. But on the Strato K though, I feel like that going into the 8K scenario, it's just again. Do you have like an inkling of what titles they're going to release or who's they're working on, or is it still kind of kept? We don't know yet. Whoever releases it.
We are working on a handful of titles. Those titles, I'm not allowed to talk about.
But the category is up, Matthew. So technically, you're talking about it.
But we do. But 8K is coming, is what I can tell you, right?
It's
8K is coming. Yeah. We actually have an 8K, kind of film on there now that you can download. So yeah, like I said, it's coming, and we're excited about it.
Right. Yeah. No. So and that's. Go ahead, Byron. Do you have some?
Matt, I got a couple of unique questions.
Oh,
number one is
this could go anywhere. By the way.
Okay. Looking forward to this. Kind of scared.
Generally, without money passing hands.
Yes. Yeah. No. But by the way, he's a friendly thief. If he steals something, yes, we have one in our hand today, which is why you're not in studio.
So Matt, is it considered stealing when you watch the person do it and you know where the item end up? That is not stealing.
It's like borrowing, but do you plan on giving it back?
At some point when I get a new one.
There you go.
But you normally pay a fine if it's a live.
Again, there's a reason why Byron isn't in studio today. So there we go. What do you got, Byron? What do you got for Matt?
Hey, so the first question is the easy one. Why doesn't come with a remote? Why is the remote extra?
The remote situation happened when the tariff stuff started going down, and so that was there was a significant increase on the remote stuff, so we changed and pivoted on that, so that's why.
It used to be like a direct TV remote, so be thankful you got the new remote.
Yeah. Well, and the new remotes are nice, like anything that has the blue dial on it. Yeah. It does have CEC control now. Yeah. So that's one thing that those new remotes do.
Is that something that they plan on bringing back eventually?
I'm not sure. Yep. And that's the other kind of cool thing that a lot of people don't talk about too, is the fact that majority of our clients actually use the app to control it, or you have some sort of control system, but a lot of people don't know, but we deep dive with Josh AI, where you can go into the room, say, hey, Josh, watch, Top Gun Maverick, and then that scene just happens. Where
I must have this.
Right. So there's a lot of things like that we have too in terms of working with control.
Like AI.
True.
So,
Well, no, Josh AI is an open ecosystem, though. It's closed. That meaning it doesn't communicate with the outside world. That's why people like it. Yeah, go ahead, Byron. What do you got?
So, question number 2. That Kaleidescape decides to close its doors at some point. From an end user standpoint, what guarantee gratification we get of what the movies we purchased already?
So I think what he's talking about is if you, and correct me if I'm wrong, Byron, if you have digital down, like if you're doing the rotate movie method, like some are doing, if Kscape disappears, what happens to the movies that they've purchased?
In the cloud.
Is how it works. And he may not be able to answer that, so be nice.
I don't know specifics, but I mean, I could tell you, right, anything that's on the device, you would still be able to access. Now, with us, I tell people that we have the convenience of streaming, but with the ownership of physical media. So, like today, like you own the rights to all the content, right? So, if we lost a studio, you could still have access to those titles no matter what. So it's unlike streaming where you don't own the rights to any of that content. You just own the rights to
use it.
They own the rights to show you,
exactly,
let you watch it.
Right.
But I can tell you that we are, in the best shape ever with, the studios, with those relationships. This K has given us a lot of attention, not only in the industry but outside. So I would tell you that if you're worried about that it's it's not a thing.
Well, and to
it wasn't.
Oh, I know.
It wasn't necessarily a worry. It was just like worst case scenario, disaster recovery type.
Well, and I think a lot of people still worry, but like I said, I would tell you that like our relationships are stronger than ever, and we're in a great spot. We're growing year over year. So,
sorry?
I was gonna say I think that's like one of the things that I kind of follow along. So I've been following Kaleidescape on LinkedIn for some time, even before Justin tried to
at least
get
30
me to sell
minutes.
one. At least for the last 30 minutes. But a good direction that they were going in, because somebody from the cinema industry just, I never, that part of it we don't ever really worry about, right? Because it's, you're coming from, exhibitor to home, and it's I forgot, but it's definitely something that I think is good that Kaleidescape is talking with the studios, because that used to be a thing. Yeah, I mean that's a huge shift, especially with having those licenses, because I know that people they want to see that everything's out there. I don't think they necessarily think about, and from a studio aspect, like, we're not going to show Warner Brothers, or we're not going to show Paramount, or we're not going to show this or that. So I think that's kind of good that they're going in that direction and building it more and more. So
well, and we're having conversations because we're growing. We're going to new markets, right? So we're in Canada, UK. We opened up Australia last year.
Oh wow!
So we're expanding that side of it as well. So.
You just answered the question I was going to ask. What's your global reach at the moment?
Yeah, so today it's just...
Following on from that, do you run your own server farms? And if so, do you have a presence in those countries with server farms?
That I'm not sure.
Or do you just run AWS?
It's classified.
Yeah.
It's classified.
Everything's classified in this business.
Well, no, it's classified. It's like if he tells you how they do it, then somebody's going to find how they do it. It's classified. Can't tell you.
So Matt, another question. You might not be able to answer this neither. Me and Justin had this conversation.
Oh, dear God. We've had many conversations. Are you clothed?
Yes.
Does it involve money?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, not yet. So we've been doing the digital poster thing. And a number of digital poster apps have a link to Kaleidescape, to where whatever movie you're watching on the Kaleidescape, it displays the digital poster of that movie.
Is that a thing?
Is that communication happens through the metadata setting, or is some other kind of way?
It's all metadata.
So it does do it. Mm-hmm. So Kaleidescape will do it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I always thought Kaleidescape was just this closed down little thing, and it just did not want to be manipulated and whatnot.
So same thing, like each one of our titles, we put exclusive metadata on that works with, screen masking, lighting, shades,
that's cool.
D-box seats. Like each one of our
TV backlight.
Oh, you said a bad word.
D-box.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But no, so when we're going through, we put that data on there. Same thing, like when you look at scenes of our scenes they're different than chapters on a disc, right? Those are scenes that we've curated, which we think highlight the movie the best. Like, here's the best demo.
The show-off scenes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
the ones that show off the beast.
Yeah. No, the beast scenes. Yeah, that's cool. When it comes to Kaleidescape, you hit those scenes.
Yes,
and
it
it's
is. Yes, it is.
That's where he bought. Yeah, that's what sells it all the time.
It's Byron's favorite movie.
I think.
And it
cost, the 2 demos.
14 seconds cost you thousands.
Well, so what I like about what you just said, Matt, was that you just said that this conversation is over, and I don't think listeners understand how historic this moment is right now, because for the first time in history, you're getting the director raw file. You're getting, especially with this 4K cinematic, this is the raw material that they were using in the studio, and it's the first time in history it's ever happened. Anytime you've had a version of a movie prior to this, it's been compressed, it's been manipulated, it's been, okay, we got to make it fit in the Blu-ray, we got to make it fit in Ultra HD. And you were even, in some cases, they were making it fit to put it on Kaleidescape, and they were 90 gigabit files and things like that. This is historic right now.
Is the cinematic 4K better quality than what even the movie theaters get?
It's different. It's different, and it's not like it's different than like a DCI file, stuff like that. But trying to remember, there's a color difference, but I can't remember what
it's the chroma, right?
Yeah, if the chroma on these files
444 versus
is the best,
422. Yeah.
Do movie theaters get the 444 when they get their files from wherever their distribution, or do they get 422? Or
I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing.
Does Ray know?
Well, I mean, we use the DCI color spec, and it's not 444.
Okay.
What is it?
For the color spec?
Yeah. Put you on the spot now.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Well, if it's not 444...
Come on, Ray. You go over the country doing it.
It's got to be less, because 444 is the top. So if you have got less, then the Kaleidescape file is better quality.
Again,
than
and that's what kills the
Well,
disc
I think it's different, because we definitely use a different color space, and maybe it is 4:4. I don't know, but when you're looking at it from when we're going in and doing color correction and stuff like that, regardless of what theater you're in, whether it's AMC, Cinemark, IMAX, we all use the standard DCI spec of. What is it?
And for those listeners, including me, that don't know what DCI means,
it's a Digital Cinema Initiative.
Okay,
gotcha. Yeah. Is that like an HDCP thing, or is that a security thing, or
no? It was a standard that was put together early on, just so everybody can be like, you can't just go and make a projector and then put any kind of color spacing or any kind of
like that barcode. The other one has a DCI input.
Yeah,
in the big theater has a DCI, and most barcodes do.
Yeah,
and
so
one HDMI and then the other is DCI.
When we're doing like our XY is 314351, right? And so when we hear that, or when we see it, we know what color space that we're using. So it's and that's what we set, when we're shooting color and we're setting our red, blue, green to specific specs. That's what we're setting. We're setting a DCI spec. Gotcha. So you can't go in and say, oh, well, this is the color spacing that we're using in cinema. if you're not using that.
So cinemas are bringing these files in to a server, and then you are distributing from that server to each cinema, correct? Or each
Auditorium.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Auditorium. Yes. Yeah. Okay. And so you're downloading them. You're downloading them locally, and then you are farming them out to the whatever auditorium you want to go.
Yeah,
so it's very much similar to a Kaleidescape.
It's very. I mean, because when he was talking about the size files and stuff like that, it's exactly what it is. I mean, when you're looking at a 3D movie, you're looking at close to 120, 140 gigs.
Wow.
Or if you're, if it's a small.
How big is the Odyssey going to be?
And it's going to be, well, I mean, the Odyssey's not going to be as big as what we would think, but, it's not going to hit 200 gigs.
Okay.
So, because it's not as long, right? The longer the movie.
So for those with one Strato K or a Strato E, you're going to
be
I'm sorry, you have to delete every movie off.
They could definitely come in at 140.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
But, I mean, we have different file formats too. So like if you're running Atmos, then you're going to have, you have to download 2 different types of files, right? So you got your audio track, and then you have your the actual movie.
Ray, does IMAX film in 8K?
I don't know what the resolution is as far as you're talking about the 70 millimeter.
Yeah.
Whatever the resolution.
Trying to make a connection here.
I think there's really no.
Matt's like, it's great, dude. I'm still not telling you.
Yeah, no. I mean, if there is a connection, I don't know about it. Because like at the beginning, what Matt said, it's above my pay grade.
So going into it, it's like for the end users that have been disc warriors, that have been media server junkies, have been I can build a cheaper mousetrap, which 3 of us in this room have tried this, and again, that's why this is a historical thing. It's like it's the first time that you have access to all of this stuff. Matt, how cool does that feel to be a part of that?
It's the best thing.
It's
awesome. The best thing since sliced bread.
That's it. I mean, it's the first time that we can say no. There is nothing like it.
There's done.
Yeah,
You're done.
I think like when you're taking what's in from the exhibitors and bringing it home, if you can get that same aspect ratio, if you can get that same type of audio file, if you can get the same type of color that you saw. I'm not saying in by any means that and again, I'm still a traditionalist. I think theater is far better than what we get at home. But if you want to get as close to the theater as possible, why not?
It depends on the beast you'll
There's not a better experience at home.
No,
right?
There's not.
But that's the other thing, these days, right? Like media comes out so fast, right? So we're getting things, same time as streaming, right? You want to order that disc, it's going to take a month or so, right? At least minimum, right? So why not get?
In the case of F1, it was 3 months.
Right away, same day, and oh, by the way, it's better quality.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's the same $25.
Yeah.
Or $7, but you're gonna get the best version.
Yeah. Well, some of these are even more expensive than that, though. No.
Well, I know if it's a first release, meaning if it's in the same time, like so Mortal Kombat 2, for instance, when it's in theater right now still, and right now on Kaleidescape it's $39.99. Well, that's because it's still in the theater. In again, devil's advocate here. Well, yeah. See, they're a lot of people say, well, it's more expensive on Kaleidescape. There it is, $39 for a movie. I can't take my family to a movie theater for under $39 if it's more than 3 people or 4 people.
Yeah,
right. And that's not including the snacks. That's just ticket prices.
Right.
Well, you also can't pause the movie and make another drink.
True.
Or,
change your grandkids.
Yeah. I mean,
and all that. Yeah.
So, I don't think you can get your Michael Jackson movie now.
Oh gosh, can we not with the Michael Jackson?
I just think I'm always going to be an advocate of the cinema, and I'm always going to be
job security.
Well, not just that, but the reason why
it's how we all grew up.
It's how we grew up. It's like, you want to go watch Star Wars? Where a better place to watch it is at the theater. So, but as a second alternative, because I can watch movie after movie. One of my favorite movies to watch over and over and over again, believe it or not, is Overboard with Kurt Russell, and I can watch that
original
movie. Yeah, and so, you know, I watched it at the theater, but doesn't mean I'm not going to watch it at home. Or if I watch it at home, doesn't mean I'm not going to go watch it at the theater. You know, if they do a re-release, like they, you know, for all you nerds out there, like Transformers the movie, it's coming out again, right? They're going to re-release it.
Yeah.
So, you know, things like that. You want to experience those things at the theater, but it's not going to stop you from, you know, having a good home cinema, which is what, you know, me and Justin have always tried to incorporate, you know, by bringing those two, you know, things together.
Matt, do you have a home cinema at your house?
Yeah.
You do. What's in your? Okay, this is. I'm gonna go into
it's a hot topic.
I'm gonna go into never look at a mechanic's car type of thing. But no, what is your perfect home cinema, Matt?
Oh, I don't have a perfect home cinema.
You're like,
if that's what
you
we're
just
asking.
said it. Don't ask me about my car.
No, but my.
Are you a widescreen guy? Are you a 16:9 guy? Or where do you float in that world?
Yeah, so my room is a multi-purpose. So I've always enjoyed 16:9 because I do everything in there, right? You know, me and the girls will play video games on there. We watch sports, we watch movies. Like everything is done in that room. So for me, that's what we do. But I worked for Best Buy for a long time. And so I worked there in the heyday when you were getting points for product and all these things. So it's all AudioQuest cables.
Yep.
It's Martin Logan speakers. It's a Sony 5000, projector. So that's what I have, and it works for the small room that we have today. So.
Right.
Yeah, I think people always
so Justin, you heard he got Logan Martins.
He got Logan. Jesus.
He got Martin Logan's.
Yeah, Byron till this day has still been calling Martin Martins. Yeah.
So
I'm surprised he can say Kaleidescape. I'd like to know how you screw that one up.
Well, as long as it's not Kaleidoscope.
Yes, that's true.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I just cheat and call it Kaleidescape.
Well, you never know. He calls his TV something weird, and then he refers to Samsoni as being a product. So
That's true.
we don't know.
Also.
We really don't know sometimes.
Yes.
It's like that scene in Malibu's Most Wanted when he's telling everybody he has a Gamecast. I don't know if you guys see the movie, but he's like,
no,
Gamecast.
It's either GameCube or Dreamcast. I don't know.
So, I love the bridge, between, the cinema experience and the home cinema experience. And, I'm a component, or not a component, but I'm like, I like them both.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not like just strictly those guys, or,
I just come to the shop.
Yeah, Justin just shows up.
I just come to the store.
I just think if you're spending the money, right, on a home cinema, whether it's, 20,000, 30, whatever, right, you want the best experience, and that starts and ends with
why base it
source.
on $40, Fire Stick?
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing when you're building a 2-channel, right? It's only going to be as good as the source, right?
I was a couple of years back, actually longer than that, before I got with IMAX. I was working for a different company that shall not be named, and
Best Buy.
It wasn't Best Buy.
No.
And I was at the it's called ICTA, which is the International Cinema Technology, whatever, up in LA. And I was talking with my Dolby rep, and one of the things that we were talking about the most was streaming, right? And how everybody was complaining about the Atmos streaming, and at that time, Dolby hadn't really put anything out that was going to be, true Atmos. I mean, you would get it, you can get it or whatever, but again, in a compressed file, right? And it was at that convention where they announced that now they're going to be getting like the full uncompressed Atmos signal that you would get in streaming. And so I thought that was a really cool thing. And if that's something that like everybody can start using, you are getting true Atmos. You're not getting like, oh, it's just a compressed file. And I hear it all the time from people, and they're just like, well, it's not real Atmos. I'm like,
well, that's what you had to get off the forums.
That's when I got off the forums.
I like to call streaming Dolby Almost.
Dolby Almost. I love that.
You're just not getting the full experience that you're getting like on Kaleidescape, when we do the demos, right? The demo is, and I try and find demos. I can just start the movie from the very beginning, so I'm not having to fumble with a TV or a remote and fast forward all those things. So like, I'll play the very start of a movie, pause, switch to Kaleidescape, same volume. So all we're doing is changing the source. And all of a sudden, the thing just comes alive. You're getting more out of your rear and Atmos speakers and all that stuff. And so that's where I always bring up the Dolby Almost.
Yeah,
Dolby Almost. I love it.
So is that something from the equipment itself? Because I know that anything like, especially with LG, like Dolby had a partnership with LG, and I think they still do because they were one of the first TVs to put Dolby Vision in.
Right.
So they're the technology that they're putting in these LG TVs, you should be getting, the full extent of Atmos in there. That whatever's coming out now
within tolerance. Yeah,
within tolerance.
Well,
yeah.
on our side, right, we don't touch the audio. It's all uncompressed, lossless audio.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a different. And kind of going into that before, it's like if you were to stream that across your TV, it's like a 7 gigabit file. It doesn't mean that the information's not there. It just means they had to squeeze the information to make it work as soon as you click your button.
Yeah, and I think you also have to have
that's where the loss
equipment, to kind of.
Well, and it depends, right? Like, because over a 2-hour period, you're going to get probably 8 to 32 gigs of information, right? And then my son gets on Call of Duty, my daughter does this, my wife's on Pinterest, whatever. If they're buying the network that Justin's providing, it's probably a good experience, right? But if they're buying, some DIY thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
So is your household full of movie snobs now? Like, Dad, this isn't Kaleidescape. It sounds different.
It's not that bad, but we're finally at a point where my daughter's going to be 10 this summer, and she's learned this is the room.
So she's going to be heck on wheels to every friend's house she goes to where they have a home theater. She's like, you need a Kaleidescape.
Well, that's the thing right now is
that's the plan.
You got to put her on the payroll,
sell it,
man.
exactly, right?
Yeah, you need to call my dad's friend Justin. And
there you go.
You a Kaleidescape.
Yep, there you go.
So, all right. So let's go back to Strato M for a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this because this thing, you look at the reviews, you look at YouTube, and they kind of brush in and out of it. Yeah, it's a 2K player, $2,000 player for 2K. Can you kind of draw that parallel line between it versus streaming and it versus the 4K player and why it's such a good value and why somebody isn't going backward by buying that unit?
And to B-clause that question, is it true 2K or is this 2K on steroids?
Yeah. So the idea behind M is that our 2K is better than 4K streaming, right? That's
freaking cool.
That's the idea, right? But and I will tell you that for $2,000, there's nothing that you can do to your system that's going to add more to that experience,
including a Blu-ray. Like if you were to take a disc
100%.
versus, that's awesome.
So what the M does is, one, it's an entry point at $2,000. What this does though is it's taking that same 90 gig 4K Dolby Vision file, but it's only outputting it in 2K. So it's the same file, it's the same size.
So you're not having to re-download or multiple download or any of that.
Yeah. Okay. And then obviously the audio is still lossless, uncompressed.
Okay.
But I would tell you that if you put it on a TV, 100-inch and below, if I put it on there, you wouldn't tell me it's not 4K.
So if you have a household with a Strato E and a Strato M,
it's the same.
Sorry,
file.
the letters are all messed up.
But why do you call it 2K? What is 2K? Somewhere between 1080 and 4K?
I forget the.
And if you've got the 4K file, why don't you output it as 4K?
It's a hardware limitation.
Yeah. I mean,
it was to get it in the $2,000 price point, is what it was.
Isn't it like 1920?
It's 1920 by 1080.
Yeah,
1080p, and theirs is probably 1920 by 1080p, but with a different color palette or a stronger color palette and all of that. But so I love that you said that because I want to talk. And again, it may be something that it's if I tell you, I have to kill you.
But like, I'll tell you real fast. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, we have the Tola Expo
Right.
every year,
Right.
in Dallas. I had the M on one of the 140-inch Samsung walls.
Right.
Didn't tell anybody, but we did those demos. Afterwards, I was like, "Hey, what'd you guys think of the picture? Oh, it was great. It was awesome. Hey, by the way, this is our 2K player."
Wow.
Nobody knew, right?
Cool.
Now, if I told you beforehand, it would be like, "Oh, I could probably pick
You
things
use
apart,"
the
kind of
old
thing.
showroom trick. Oh yeah, that's
Right.
the newest version of OLED.
But most people, like, again, if you had it on a 65-inch TV, you would never say that it's not 4K.
Right.
It looks that good, but it's a great gateway piece for somebody to get into Kaleidescape ecosystem at a $2,000 price point.
So, something I thought about, and it's kind of what some of the processors that we use in the Cinnamon, not with IMAX, but do they ever see themselves becoming a little bit more modular in a sense of, like, if somebody's buying,
That's exactly what I was about to ask.
like,
Yeah.
if you're buying, like, let's just give me a letter.
Strato K.
K, right? And is there going to be a point to where it's like, well, if I want to upgrade, but I can't afford, the extra $3,000 to upgrade to this model, are they going to make it a little bit more modular? Like, okay, well, you can insert this card and it'll give you something a little bit more.
You can't answer that question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but it kind of
trade-in program.
So we've done trade-in programs in the past. Right now, the only kind of programs we have are to move some of these Premiere.
Please stop
clients
supporting the Premiere. Yeah, please get rid of your Premiere.
To the new Terra Strato stuff. That's really kind of the promotions that we have right now. Now, we have a lot of dealers who are doing trade-up.
Yeah, we do. We're doing the trade-up program here. So
But making like a modular kind of thing, almost like Trinoff or Storm do, where you can replace a card,
Right.
kind of thing. I don't think so, but again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we've done a good job just in these 2 years, just with these new products and price points.
Well, yeah, you guys are riding a tidal wave. I mean, this is like four. So you get the M, the E, the V, and the K. That's 4 new product in the past 2 years.
Yeah, so we've got a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 player, and then now we start our Terra servers at $5,000 too. So
right,
where we used to be a $10,000 entry point 2 years ago, now you can get somebody in at $7,000 or $8,000 as a full system.
Right.
And what we're doing is we're selling a ton of players, and what we're finding is, those customers that start with an E, a V, the K, we have 2 customers, right? We have the customers who want all their content right at their fingertips. I want to push play. I want to see my full library. Go, right? And then we have, right?
Yep.
I'm the same way.
I want to see Blockbuster on my screen.
Right?
Immediately.
Or we have the clients that, like 5 movies is enough, right? Because to me, it's not that big of a deal, because when was the last time somebody watched 5 movies back to back to back to back, right? So
clearly you do not have ADHD. It's not about the movie. It's about watching thousands of scenes back to back.
Sure.
And making your own movie.
But those are the clients that we have is, hey, I'm fine with deleting.
You didn't know Iron Man was in Top Gun Maverick? Now you do. No.
Yeah. So those are the 2 customers that we have, but we're finding those customers, 2-3 months later coming back. Hey, Justin, you were right. Sell me storage. I'm tired of deleting.
I like to describe those systems as a disc changer. Back in the day, you had the 5-disc CD changer, DVD changer, whatever, or 200-disc Blu-ray changer. The smaller systems are like a disc changer, and yeah, you got to plan your movie night a little bit ahead of time. It really only takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on internet connection. And again, if you look at a Strato S, which is what I have, the Strato S takes an hour minimum to download a movie.
45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, also depending on your internet speed too.
Yeah,
so.
Right. Well, and that's on a gigabit. I have a gigabit here, and it's still the reason why they natively moved away from these player/larger hard drive systems was speed. Yeah. People want speed. They want to hit the button. They want it instant gratification, and that's kind of the way the origins. Plus, when you guys were building the first variation of the movie store, you had 1080p players that wouldn't do 4K, and it was a mess to try to convert people over to the 4K stuff. And they were like, we don't want to ever do this again, so let's just split it and call it a day. And so going back to the Strato M, so you said something very interesting. You took it's taking this 4K file and it's making it work through the 2K video card. This may enter tell you if I have to kill you territory. Are they going to flip that script and make it to where is there a reason why you can't do that with the other players in regard to real cinematic, or is the trade-off you're just not it's gonna take up more storage and you're not gonna see the value in it?
No, it's a hardware issue.
Okay.
Right. The K is just different chipset, different.
It's different every way.
Right.
It looks different, feels different, it's built different. Yeah. No,
So-
when I just saw one this morning, and it's like, man, this is like they took it to an F1 car builder and said, "Here, build me a player."
Yeah.
It's really freaking awesome the way all that works. So okay, so that's the Strato M, and then we have the Strato E,
Yep.
which is basically the same thing with a different video card, correct?
Same thing, but supports Dolby Vision,
All the
HDR10.
4K,
Yep.
HDR10, HDR10.
So I'm gonna go on a limb, just like we were talking about the lettering. I'm gonna go with E as enhanced.
Right. Well, we have no
That's kinda
idea.
what it
I don't
feels
even
like.
think he knows the idea.
No, I know. It just I feel like just listening to the conversation, I'm just putting the letters to whatever it is that you guys.
So
coming
V
out
would
with.
be victorious. We've won. It has more storage, and K would be it just kicks ass. It's just what I would
No,
say.
K means keep spending.
Keep spending.
There you go. Tell your bosses I'll be here all week.
There you
Yeah. There we go. No, but what it is okay. So the E and then the V is basically the E with more storage. Just
And then
kind of
you-
does the same thing.
And then you add optical and digital coax, so you have audio out.
So you have breakout for for folks that yeah.
Maybe you have a 2-channel system, something like that. You could split audio out for that.
So I'm glad you said 2 channels. So music, how is that? Because I know 2 years ago you were negotiating the music, because that gamut is totally different.
Yeah,
for
music concerts
videos
have been
and
huge
stuff.
for us.
Yeah,
So we're always, listen, just in general, we're always working on,
relationships and
new
stuff. but
studio
that's a whole
stuff, new
different
content,
Yeah.
but yeah, music. Yeah, we're looking to add a ton of titles, this year, next year for concerts. We've got, a handful of titles that are in Dolby Atmos.
I know the Billie Eilish one just released, and it's in Dolby
It's in
Atmos.
cinematic.
4K. Oh, is it?
Mhm.
Wow. So yeah, no, that should be a cool. I Imagine Dragons is on there, and that one
Yep.
was really
So is that
good.
the same ones that were kind of being released at the theater?
Oh, I didn't. Was that?
Yeah, because we had
Okay.
we
then.
we had Imagine Dragons, we had Billie Eilish.
I would imagine so. Then I didn't know
Pearl
that. Yeah.
Jam.
Okay.
Stuff like
So
that.
can we start talking to Metallica and things like that?
Like the Hans Zimmer is
Queen.
the Hans Zimmer live in Prague,
They have Queen on
We didn't
there.
have that
Queen's
one, but
already
I
on
would
there.
have loved to see that.
but that's another one that's in cinematic,
Oh wow!
and then Dolby Atmos.
So
as well.
Queen live in Montreal has been on there for a
We
bit.
do have that one. Yeah.
yeah, and we also did that one too. Yeah, Talking Heads.
Yep.
Yeah,
So we've got that one. That one it's actually 100 on Rotten Tomatoes.
that was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another title of ours that's been popular.
Yeah, so going
Road.
into in the most thing, and you're just kind of putting it to bed left and right, and Byron kind of alluded to it with his question just a little bit recent.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's a whole new regime, right?
Right.
Like that was the old, ownership. We've got, Taylor, who's the new CEO, who
Right.
I feel like has done a tremendous job in
Oh, yeah.
what he's done. I mean, his first product was the V,
Right.
right? So,
Yeah.
but
I mean-
we've got a lot. I mean, there's so much that we offer that you just don't get in our industry, right? Like, so we've got like, a 5-year warranty and everything. All of our stuff is tested for a minimum of 18 hours or a minimum of 8 hours before it gets shipped. Everything goes through 18 different quality checks.
What really stresses you out when I say, "Hey, man, I need one on the fly"? He's like, "Dang it!" Right.
Right.
And I think
Like,
that's a good kind of a selling point too, especially for you. So if somebody's coming in and you don't have one, in shop and you need to order it, and they're like, "Oh, I want it now." And be like, "Well, I could get you something now. It'll be an Apple TV, or I can get you something that's good, and it'll be this. And this is what.
No, but usually they're quick. I mean, if they've got it on the shelf, I mean, when he says testing units, they don't.
It's already been done. Yeah.
They don't stop testing units. They've got several in the hopper testing. So if somebody like me says, "Hey, man, guy wants it for this weekend. He's having a party." Boom, he's like, "Yep, nope, it'll be there tomorrow morning," type of thing. And that's kind of what differentiates. Now if you want it loaded with movies and things like that, that's what their slowdown
typically
process
we ship same day or next day.
Yeah, in most cases when they have product available. So Strato K available? Yes, no.
Yep. You're available to order and
ready to go.
It's ready to go.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is I've never worked with a company, and we work with a lot of companies that are just so proactive. Most companies talk about things, they talk about launching things, they put blood in the water. Oh, by the way, it's not going to ship until first quarter next year.
Well, and that's why
that's not what you guys do.
Well, and I think that's where we get a lot of flack as well for, nobody told us, that this was coming out. We just don't. I mean, for us, we actually did a teaser for the first time ever, 2 days before, but we typically don't talk about something because we want to make sure that we can produce it. Right. And that it's actually going to come to fruition.
We usually don't talk about something until it's like a day before.
That's usually how we do it. Yep.
Well, your phone was blowing up.
It was.
You didn't even know about it.
200 calls. Yeah, I had 200 calls on this very thing that one day, and finally I was like, I would call Matt, we'd talk for an hour, and then I'd go away. And I'd call Matt again, talk for an hour, and then I'd go away. And then I'd text Matt, and he'd just call me. So when I said I had a 3-hour conversation with Matt, I had a 3-hour conversation.
Yeah, generally what we'll do is there'll be a blast, but we'll send out, email communication to dealers first thing in the morning kind of thing. But
yeah, I think Justin's been trying to get me to buy a Kaleidescape for what, 5-6 years now?
6 is the second I saw it. Yeah,
it's
which was about 7 years ago.
It's a good thing you waited so long, because now we have this.
Now he knows.
Well, at the time I couldn't,
and maybe he did know.
Barely afford it now, but it is a just from what we would go through, it's incredible.
What do you got, Byron? What was that?
I think from a dealer standpoint, that Kaleidescape and the dealers need to make out some type of deal to where they have some in the dealership storeroom. No, in the dealership storeroom.
That what? You said something?
So you can attract them impulse buyer customers. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a lot of people say, like on a Saturday, they'll walk in your shop and you start talking about Kaleidescape and it's like, well, okay, give me one. Well, we got to order. Then they got the whole time to go by.
Yeah.
They got a whole time to go by.
Well, you're welcome to order more and have them sitting on the shelf. They'll let you do that.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you need to, like car salesmen, they do the floor program. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And so you get a chance to stock them, and that way you can get that.
Yeah, Matt. Why don't we do that?
Think about it.
Yeah.
You give a person a chance to go home and think about it. Then come Monday morning, they might change their mind.
Well, that's why Justin has the Strato S, the old we call that the puppy dog.
Yeah.
You take that home and then you don't want to bring it back.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's why we kind of stopped doing if we do an in-home, hey, hang out with it, we don't really do the hang out with it for the weekend, because then their phone stops working.
Yeah.
And
typically what happens, yeah.
And he goes out of town, and then and I'm just like, okay, I'm sweating. All right, hey man, can I get this thing back?
Yeah. Well, and that's the one thing that you were doing that I enjoyed was the Kaleidescape challenge.
Yes, we're initiating the Kaleidescape challenge. Yeah, no, and you can see it in our showroom.
Yep.
We can bring one to your home to kind of show you on your system. And again, there's no funny business here. We're not going to touch your system. If you want to leave the HDMI cable hanging out for us, great, we'll plug into it. Just give us a receptacle for power and an HDMI cable in your system. We'll take it from there, and that's how the Kaleidescape challenge works, because we're not going to lose. And it's one of the few products that we have where we can do that and just have that confidence of this is gonna be better. Like I've taken this against an Oppo 901, which is the beloved Blu-ray player that everybody covets and tries to find on eBay that are selling for thousands of dollars. I've gone head to head with those. I've gone head to head with Apple TVs. I've gone head to head with Zapitis, which are Zedos, which I think one of those is now out of business because again they were building things that would burn disk and I asked Matt about it. Matt was like, just dude, give it 5 minutes. Literally give it 5 minutes. And it was literally within a month they were gone. You can't sell them in the United States anymore, and they were deactivated because the same thing happened to them. And it's just what I'm saying is it's the easy way. And where most people want to blow holes in their ship is they kind of say, well, I can build one of these cheaper in my garage. Trust me, I'm sitting next to a guy that's done it, and so have I. And there's a guy across from us that's still doing it.
Yeah, I mean, they could do it. They could build it, but doesn't mean they're going to get.
They don't have the file.
Well, and again, you're taking...
The quality. The picture quality.
Yeah, and think about it, right? Like, let's just say it's a 66 gig, like Tron Ares was 66 gigs. Right? When I start putting that through the software and then, I'm taking off, I don't need all the languages. I don't need all the subtitles. I don't need every audio format. I'm taking that 66 and now it's really more like 50 or whatever the number is, right? Like it's still not, and that's the other big thing that I think is cool is, especially with these new players, think about it, right? Like if the network at the house goes down, I can still have movie night. I can still play it because it's local. But the one thing that we do, we take, family trip every summer, like we're getting ready to go on a cruise, and I take our Strato V just in case my daughters get bored, and I'll load movies on it and
that's brilliant. Yeah,
and take it, right? Like it's so it's one of those things, you have an RV, you want to get, go out of town for a couple of days, you can take the Strato E with you, or the M is perfect for RV stuff. But that's definitely pretty interesting. The movies, one of the things that I like to see is like different versions of a movie. Yeah.
Right. We'll give you Justice League, and they did Justice League. Well, I think
it's Snyderverse. It's
it was like Justice League Black or Justice League Black.
It was
and
a
White
Snyder cut. Yeah,
and it was such a not just a Snyder cut, but they changed the whole movie was done in black and white, or like Godzilla -0.
Yeah,
right. You can watch it in black and white, or you can watch it in color. If you're buying a movie, do you have to buy the two different versions of that, or they combine those two and say, oh, you can watch it in this or that?
I think so. The one that we had that if I'm remembering, we did
Mad Max, right?
It was that's
what
I was thinking Wolverine, but it was Mad Max where Chroma.
Logan did do that too.
Okay,
yeah, Logan.
But I think it was two purchases for that. I think you paid for the black and white, and then you paid for the regular.
Okay, so I guess the next question would be: would they change that at any point in time, or keep it?
I'm not sure. The one thing that we do is we do movie updates. So when you buy a movie from us, like I said, you get every version. If you buy a 4K, then you get the 4K cinematic, the Dolby Vision, the HDR, the SDR if there is one, and you even get the Blu-ray version. That way, if one of your TVs at the house doesn't support one of those, you can still use it. But we also do movie updates, which are free. So anytime the studio makes a change, we give that back to you for free. So like, for instance, like we just got the first 3 Jurassic Parks a month or two ago, where they added Atmos tracks to those.
Yes.
So that was a free update.
Matt got a call on that day.
Yeah, so that was a free update for any customer that had purchased Jurassic Park.
He said, just delete it, re-download it, you're good.
Yeah, same thing like Top Gun Maverick. I think it's had like 4 Atmos tracks added to it.
They just put one out this morning. They
Nothing
just did an update this morning on Maverick.
How much more Atmos can you get?
Well, and also audio and video improvements, to the file, stuff like that they're doing.
Well, I mean, I know, like, I think Atmos can go up to 64 channels. So hopefully somebody will utilize all those one of these days.
I think Justin's thinking about doing 64 channels here, right?
Yeah.
Justin doesn't do. Justin.
I want the building. I want the whole room to wobble.
No, the
it's
only
have me so many holes in
extra stuff that Justin does is that he adds extra numbers after the point. So he'll do a 5.50 if he could. Right? Am I correct? I mean, I
like pressure, man. That's what I've got 9 subwoofers in there right now.
Yeah, you got like a 9.5 earthquake in there.
You can never. You can't never have enough subs.
I tell
The
you what,
more
though,
subs, the better.
Dan Jones from JBL
Yeah,
Synthesis
he's awesome.
is a miracle worker because he, I told him I was looking for. He came out. We spent 10 hours together. I don't think my ears will ever be the same again. I don't know how he hears. I don't know how.
It sounds like a different
I don't know
story
how
for a
he's
different
lost his hearing because he takes it to the nth degree in a lot of cases, and then
Well, he even asked that you have a Kaleidescape so he can do the calibration.
True. Well,
Do they
right,
have an internal
and then
calibration on that?
yeah.
On
Well,
the
he
Kaleidescape?
wants it, but he has
Yeah.
two things. He'll ask if you have a Kaleidescape, and the answer is yes. He said, okay, even if you have a Kaleidescape, do you have a Blu-ray player? Because he has test disc that he brings that are the OG Dolby Atmos test disc and IMAX test disc and all this stuff, and he puts it in the system for just white noise channels because that's how he calibrates on the white noise. But Dan will, even when he walked in that room, he was like, "Dear God, you like subwoofers," and that was just. But he's awesome. He's really, really cool. He looks like a superhero, so you kind of hate him when you first meet him.
But he's been in the industry for a long time.
Oh, he's a long time.
Yeah,
Long
just
time.
cluster your subs, 2 sub cabinets, you're good to go, man.
No, disagree.
I have a question for Mr. Matt over there. I was just plodding away through the website looking at some things, and one or two things struck me. So one of the things was that, like, the K, the V, ME, they're fairly small disk size. But given the price of SSD stuff these days, and the reason I'm asking this is because if you buy a Terra server, it disables the disk space within that smaller model. So if somebody wanted a K but wanted a Terra server as well, would you do an option that you didn't have to pay for SSD in the K because
Where a K is just a player without storage. I don't think so.
Because it only holds 7 anyway, and if somebody's buying something like that because they want all the movies in the 4K cinematic version, and so we need a Terra server as well because we're going to get all the movies at some point. So it's like, I know it's probably not a huge amount given price point, but we were talking about hard disk prices earlier, they've shot up like 75% since February.
Yeah. Well, and I think, and we talked about it, right? It's the same reason why we only have that one solid state option right now, and the option that we have is 10,000 a day, but it was 6,000 in January, right?
Yeah.
But no, I don't. Again, I don't have the answer, but I would say probably not. We would probably just continue to do our the players that we have now in that 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not have like an in between, like a $4,500 model that just had it, and that way you are losing the terabyte. But the way to look at it is like if I'm doing 4K cinematic, I'm losing probably 7 movies.
Yeah. What was the decision on disabling? Right? Did I hear that right? You're disabling the internal. Yeah. So what was the reasoning behind that? Why would they disable that?
I think it comes down to processing.
It describes it as making the system server centric. So you don't want to be deciding, are we going to play it from the player or from the server? If you've got the server, then the players are just players.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
So hard drive, you were talking about hard drive price.
Well, it's an SSD, so the K has a 1 terabyte. I don't know, same size.
They're just
in the
keeping
MP.
it light.
Yeah, the V and the K are both a terabyte, and then everything else is 500.
So if you get a Terra server, it disables the internal drive on those other players. So it's an effective loss.
Yeah. Well, and then you also unlock a couple of things too, so you unlock the full experience, right? Like the players by themselves have a simplified UI, which I think is nice if you're just coming from streaming. It's very easy to navigate, and then when you add the server, you unlock the experience that we know about. You unlock parental control. And
does that disappoint anybody, Justin, when they come in and you show them the experience? And then they buy whatever model, but when they install it, it's like, well, where's this experience that you showed me?
There is a precursor precursor. There's a disclaimer to that, because I say very many times in my pitch is, if you want to see the blockbuster look where you're seeing all of your titles in their golden glory, you must purchase a hard drive in order to do that. And I say that several times just because. Yes, I have experienced that. I've experienced clients that when they get their box, and what I always try to do is I try to give them some movie credits too, and then that way it's not just Where Eagles Fly and whatever the other thing was that comes with it. And then that way it's like we have demo material there. They've got a few movies for movie night because they're ready for it, rubbing their hands together, ready for it. And so what we try to do one or the other, and then that way. But yes, that is something that we do talk about. It's like, if you want to see this look, then otherwise it's just going to be multiple copies of only the movies you have, and it's just going to be 8 movie boxes or whatever.
Too, Justin, another thing too is,
it's a great question.
Matt, can y'all throw in a free movie? You spend a bunch of money. You got your Kaleidescapes all
so
set
I'm gonna.
up, and can't watch nothing.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: do you have physical media?
Yeah, I mean, we do the disc to digital.
I just saved you a ton.
He just handed you free movies, dude.
Yeah, I basically just saved you a ton of money money on content.
But here it goes.
Nothing free.
So here's the thing, Byron. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna answer this format.
We'll also have some great Trenoff demos that are free.
True.
Well,
yeah,
that's the point. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to get at. So, I'm just looking at it from a different perspective. Yeah. So you spend say $5,000 on an 8K, and you get your Kaleidescape all set up, and then I can't watch nothing because I don't have.
Again, I'm going to shoot Byron.
Well, I will tell you, I try and steer most dealers to sell, because we sell collections where it's like a top 40 or whatever it is, and that way the customer experience to me is a little bit better. So that, because we preload that from the factory, so when you're doing your first demo, you already have those whatever movies on the system, so you're not having to sit there with a blank screen. But again, if you're doing the disc to digital, great process, and I can save you a ton of money on your.
Byron, they don't. Well, but wait, Byron, wait, because you're just going to repeat the same question again. I get it, Your Honor. I get it. You're devil's advocate, Arter. You need to be a lawyer. I understand it, but here's the thing. Here's the twist on it. They also don't own the movie, so for them to give you the movie, they would be taking $24 out of their pocket to give you the movie. To do that, because they can't, they're barely making anything, fractions of pennies on the dollar on any movie they're selling on the thing.
Yeah, because they can't. I mean,
they have to pay for the licensing.
And I get it, but just
I get it, but
okay,
I love that.
How about this? If you buy one, I'll buy your first movie.
He has one.
I got one. How about if I buy you buy my E and let me get an 8K and buy my first movie?
That's a you and Justin conversation.
Yeah, that's a trade-off.
Wait a minute. How did I get dragged into this conversation?
You're his dealer, right?
I'm trying to help you, Matt. I just tried to help you, and you just threw me back in the cow manure.
You're Byron's
Matt,
dealer.
I think you should talk to your dealer.
I think that's a dealer question, not a class.
When I first got my Kaleidescape, I activated it, and then about 5 minutes later, when I was in the movie store, I lost internet for 3 days.
Yeah, somebody hit the post in his neighborhood, and he lost internet, and he's like, "Man, I can't even download it." I said, "You can bring it up here and download it." All I was able to do was activate it. I couldn't even access the movie store or nothing. And I'm like, I don't know how long I waited for that Kaleidescape, Justin. I mean, it was a minute, and I finally had to pay for it first.
10 minutes too late.
Yeah.
You got The Sound of Music in the end, didn't you?
Oh no, that was Mary Poppins.
Oh,
his wife download. Oh yeah, no, his wife is a movie. She's like, oh, we got to get this. Oh, we got to get this. Oh, we got to get
freaking Mary Poppins.
Well, that's what I tell people too, is that when you get in and you start using it, like, it goes quick.
Yeah.
Storage goes by fast.
Well, geez, 6 terabytes went quick.
Yeah.
6 terabytes. I was just like,
That's 100 4K movies, right? Is what that is.
Yeah, I mean, if you again, something's going to suffer.
Now you got to go through. Is it Kaleidescape where even with 6 terabytes? But I'm like him. I wanted to see the database, and even now I'm like, hey man, when's the hard drives going to go on? When are we doing a hard drive special?
So you
buy one drive, get 2 free.
Can you get any movie on Kaleidescape from any studio? Or are there any studios that won't play fair with you?
That's a great
Yeah,
question.
we have all the major studios in terms of movie content. There are some studios that we have been like talking to and stuff like that we're trying to get more content, but we're always looking for new studios and stuff like that. On the TV side, we have a ton. So we've got all the Paramount, original stuff.
Yellowstones, Game of Thrones. I mean,
well, we've got all the new stuff with Paramount too. Like we have Dutton Ranch, we have U.S. Marshals, that sort of stuff. We've got, I believe, we have almost all the Amazon originals with like Jack Reacher, Jack Ryan, stuff like that.
So is that stuff compressed too when it's streaming? Do you see a difference on like Game of Thrones and
Game of Thrones is night and day because you had that last season that everybody talked about, like
can't see a darn thing. Yeah.
And but also like I just got done rewatching Vikings, and even that's completely different. Like just like the swinging of like an axe.
So you don't realize how much they're screwing up.
Blood spatter is better.
It's just. I mean, for that you should watch. I don't know if you've seen Sifu.
No,
I've been wanting to watch that.
That's a really good one.
Well, you should get a Kaleidescape, and you can.
Well,
but it is. It's just different. Yeah, I mean, but Vikings was just night and day too.
Yeah. No. So just for the general idea, Matt doesn't even get discounts on movies working for Kaleidescape. So it's all.
One of the reasons I asked was because up until recently, Lionsgate seemed to be very loath to share.
Yeah.
Although they did recently, they've now jumped on board with Movies Anywhere.
Yep.
But
he knew that.
Of course he did. He's in the industry. So I just wondered, were Lionsgate one that you couldn't get so much, or do they give you a better price on if you've already got their movies like Expendables or whatever that you put in?
So Matt,
so we do content sets for a lot of that stuff as well, like for Expendables where you can get all
4.
Oh, I love the content sets.
Is it just
the
4?
Gateway?
I think it's 4.
Okay, I don't know. I thought
all the Pirates movies were on sale for $30.
Yeah,
that's a lot of movies.
Well, and that's where so we run. We release content every Tuesday and Friday, and then every week we have some sort of sale where you can get a movie for as little as $5, and then new releases, $30, depending on the title, but usually $24 to $30. And then we run specials like every May the 4th. You can get all 9 Star Wars for like $50 or $60, or we'll do the James Bond collection,
which are also now in 4K cinematic. All the Star Wars have been now released in 4K cinematic. All the Jurassic Parks, all the
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones just came out 4K. So this isn't one of those things where it's like, again, I think everybody got stuck on the 8K thing,
right?
But this is one of those things where you guys came out swinging. You're like, oh yeah, you talk crap about 8K all you want, but by the way, here's 150 now 170 titles that's all in 4K. I just got I got a text from one of my clients last night who owns a 22 terabyte server, or 20 terabyte. Was it 22? It's 22 terabyte server. When you had those, that type of hard drive space, and he was like, dude, I just got back from Chicago and there's like 30 updates for my movies. And I was like, yeah, you need it's telling you need a Strato K because there's more than that. If you had, because he's a movie collector, he's one of those multi-households where he has a Strato C, bought a Strato E for upstairs because he's got an 83-inch OLED upstairs in his smaller theater room or screening room. And he's one of those, well, is the K worth it? And I was like, yeah, dude. It's worth it. Like, have you seen it? I was like, I don't need to. Why don't you need to? I said, because it's Kaleidescape. Anytime they say it's better, I've never had it not be better than what they've said it was. It's not an audio. It's not a cable thing. It's not a, you can hear the difference thing. It's like, it's real. It's the data. And that's what we love, is that you guys aren't up converting or doing any of this stuff. You're just, it's just data.
Right. Yeah, no up conversion. The 8K stuff, when that comes, that's not up converted. Those are direct files.
Right. Meaning it was filmed or mixed or produced or whatever. And this morning, as of this morning, they put an 8K movie category in the movie store. So that's already there. That is one thing. On the smaller players, are they seeing the on-screen movie store now? Because I know when you first released, they weren't.
So what it looks like is you'll have 3 movie covers, and those are the top 3 movies being purchased that day.
Oh,
so that changes every 24 hours. Beside that, you'll have Browse Store, and then you'll have the glass.
So they can still browse the store and all that stuff. Yeah, because when that was
and you can see My Movies. So I may only have 5 movies on it, but I can go to My Movies and see my whole library.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
that also shows you what that Blockbuster review is going to look like.
So this is an actual intervention for Matt, because Matt has run out of movie storage. And Matt, how much movie storage do you have?
Total.
He's like, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah. Over 120 terabytes, but I'm out. Yeah.
And he's out. How many is it?
I've got over 3,000. Yeah.
There you go. That would be the answer to your question, Ian. Is that's how much movie storage. And then now that Real Cinematics come out, it's like I'm screwed. I don't even want to look at this number.
I'm holding out. I'm down to 18 terabytes, and then I'm gonna order some new stuff here soon. So
Gotcha. All right, so
it must come to a point where you just don't need that number on local storage, because even if everybody took their top 10 favorite movies,
he wants to see the movie cover.
I'll tell you, you get 2,500 titles on there. It's a little overwhelming. Like I got to the point where I had to go into my room with a plan.
I've got 2,500 titles on.
Because if not, I sit there.
You fall asleep trying to figure out.
Well, no, I sit there and I'm like, I forgot about that movie. Oh, and then you see the thing change. You're like, oh, that one.
It's like the Cheesecake Factory for movies.
Yeah. So
random selection button.
Boom. Right.
So we have a few questions from audience members that knew we were doing this show. One, which is funny because of who's sitting in the room. Is there a plan to get into the IMAX enhanced Stratosphere with Kaleidescape? I've had that question nonstop for the past 3 years. I said I will ask it. I know he probably can't answer it, but we'll ask it. So
who knows? I mean, like I said, this Strato K has been big for us, big for the industry. We're getting a lot of press about it. Who knows?
Who knows? Well, and the way I answer the question is like, you're talking about a company that doesn't even let their dealers know that something is coming down the pipe until about 24 hours before. So the next thing would be, and you're going to laugh. I dare you not to laugh. 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting into? Is there any trajectory for 3D?
I think we talked about.
Is that still a thing? I thought that was
for some people don't buy projectors unless it has a 3D option.
Yeah.
So I
don't think there's a big enough audience for us to
explore it.
Do that.
Okay, so
and they have I think I mentioned this a while back, but one of my older LG TVs is a 3D TV.
Yeah,
and it can turn anything into 3D. It can turn a regular broadcast into 3D.
AWOL projectors are doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I personally love 3D, especially when you're looking at it from Adobe Cinema or IMAX.
But do you get 3D? The same effect in your living room with how big is your TV?
65.
Do you still get that? Oh man, I gotta watch this in 3D with your 65-inch.
There's certain things I'd love to see in 3D.
Okay,
right, but
like avatars and
Avatar. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would watch Avatar in 3D only at the theater, but I wouldn't watch it at home. But Tron, I love to watch Tron in 3D.
Okay,
but I think
the second one.
No, the first one.
Oh, okay.
I love the second one was, I think, very underrated. I mean, they just need to stop putting Jared Leto in movies. But the whole 3D, I've a lot of it I grew up on, so I love to watch it. But seeing it like at home is not like a huge thing,
right?
So I can definitely see where nobody would want to just go
Well, and plus it's precious hard drive space.
It's very because I mean, even for the cinema, it's huge to run 3D.
So one thing I found fun, which when I first adopted Kaleidescape, I'm one of those nerds that watches the director commentary. You know, I listen to the audio track with James Cameron when I watch Terminator 2 because I love to see how things are made, and I want to get the artistry. And just for some weird reason, I enjoy the movie more when I do that. And it made me a little sad when I first got into the Kaleidescape that it was like, man, where's all my director commentaries? Where's the extended scenes and stuff like that? When I asked Matt, he was like, well, dude, it's hard drive space. You know, it's about hard drive space. So do you want the movie or do you want the other stuff? But here's the cool part. They're now giving you the other stuff. I noticed that the other day.
It's usually just a separate download.
Yeah, with these updates. Yeah, it's like Star Wars even had extended scenes. Other guys, I mean, I'm talking going way back. They're releasing extended scenes for the updates, and so they're giving these people all that. The other fun thing I liked was the Spider-Man Far From Home. They didn't release the version you guys released. You guys released the extended. You guys released the extended theater cut.
Okay.
Of that, and nobody else did. You know, so there's a lot of cool things. But my third question for you is: you're on a desert island, and you have 10 movies to pick from. What are your 10 movies? I want to see if I want to see what the man with a 3,000 movie collection can answer.
A lot of mine are going to be like movies that like I probably grew up on, like 80s, 90s, like like Rad would be one that I
okay.
would take. Like
all right.
BMX.
Yeah,
movie.
I remember Rad, the Hell Track.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the Hell Track.
I mean, Top Gun was always my favorite movie growing up.
Okay, so Top Gun makes the cut.
I'd probably take like The Goonies.
The Goonies, okay. A movie you have yet to see the whole thing from.
Okay.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not.
Have you
God, get out of here.
Have you watched Blues Brothers yet, Justin?
Yes, I have. It's
Whoa.
amazing.
It's a good one.
It's amazing.
I'd take A Few Good Men.
Few Good Men. Okay, 4. Can't handle the truth.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Once
I
you
just
get,
bought Blues Brothers because it was on sale.
it was $4. It was like $4.95 or something on Blues Brothers. Yeah.
One thing we was talking about when we was talking about the movies, I bought F8 director's cut from Kaleidescape, and I got the regular one included in that. So I got both for the price of one.
Yeah.
Correct.
The director's cut and the other ones.
You have to be careful with that, Byron. That's actually a good topic. That's how you clog up hard drive storage too. So if you want the best, just download the best and then uncheck the other version variations of it.
Well, you'll see like when you go to if you ever check storage, you'll see it'll say 18 movies and then it may say how many versions. And that's how you know that I've got multiple versions of a movie.
Right. Yeah, no, there's a lot of fun stuff. So recapping, Strato K, best player money can buy, shuts the DVD conversation down, Blu-ray, Ultra HD, whatever, shuts your media server conversation down, mainly because what these cats are doing, nobody's knocking on your door to give you a better version. They're doing it. They're doing all that. In closing, do we have an idea of how big an 8K file is, and do we know pricing structure wise where they're going to do it? It's going to be that is going to be a different category where they're going to have to rebuy the movie, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Anytime you're changing formats.
Okay.
No, I mean I'm not sure what the pricing is going to look like.
So anyway, let me get the older movies, right, that are out there, and we talked I guess because Disney has a huge catalog as far as Tron goes. I could see Tron being there, but what about like older cheesy movies that I grew up on? Because this is going to be like a killer for me. Because
Apple Dumpling Gang,
dude, I love the Apple Dumpling Gang. Don't even get me started. But
the Sandlot.
No, man, I go way back. I go like Beastmaster,
what do you got?
Kroll, go like all these movies are all stuff like cheesy, campy movies are gonna be.
Kroll is on there.
Is it really?
The Beastmaster is on there. Hey, you know what? Even American Ninja is on there.
Yeah, that's my jam right there.
And
I saw that at the theater.
I haven't. Very rarely do we get stumped. Only time I've ever got stumped by a client is musical artist, like at live concerts, because that's a very thin area, right? And they got to do with music studio or music companies.
Well, you should see some of these like old real ones that we've, like Lawrence of Arabia. I don't know if you've seen that on Kaleidescape. Crazy. I mean, it's so good that you can see that he's wearing a prosthetic nose.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The Omar Sharif or
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So no, yeah. Well, the other one I was watching that you guys came out with, True Lies. True Lies is beautifully done. Like if you watch True Lies, most of it looks like it was shot yesterday. You know, but the other things that you can see is in a variation is, like, to his point, the movie almost looks so good that it's like, oh wow, this was really bad. So, you know, like Star Wars Episode 1, for instance, you're like, oh, this did not age well.
Yeah.
You know.
What about we'll stomp you. What about Hercules in New York?
All right, keep
look
talking.
for it.
I don't think we have that.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think that one will be
Ka-ching.
in there. I do remember.
Not that I would watch.
You just made that up.
No, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's
No,
first movie.
it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had to have the language was dubbed over. See, I'm a movie nut. The language was dubbed over because he couldn't speak English at that time.
Yep.
Yeah. But I don't know if that one's in there. Hercules in New York.
I got a
Let
point
me
for
see.
that one.
In New York. Well, you can still download the app and look at all these
Yeah, we have it.
things. Oh, you have it. You do. He does have it.
Okay. You know what? I'm done.
But it's only in DVD.
Yeah, it's only in HD quality.
Okay.
But nobody's going to do a 4K remaster of
Yeah,
that.
I know. Nobody wants to see
It's
that.
shot with a handy cam, for God's sake.
Just correct me if I'm wrong.
You're
this
wrong.
question might have been answered.
You're correct.
For the record books, let Justin know. Let it be known that I was correct. The M. If you got an E, can the M play the movies off the E, or you have to direct the 4K movies, or you have to go back and read?
Yeah, he already answered that. Yeah, no, you can do that.
Okay.
It can't go the other. It can't go the other way around.
Same exact file.
Yeah. You just can't.
Okay.
You can't play the cinematic stuff on anything below the K, so it can't go backwards, or it can't go forwards. It can go backwards with the M. Correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. So that's what we're looking at. Matt, do you have anything you want to cover, or anything we didn't cover on
The Z?
the Z?
Well, we don't talk about the Z.
No, we never talk about the Z. Nobody orders the double. Yeah.
No, like I said, I mean, it's
If you can guess that movie, Ray.
you know, for the money, like I said, there's nothing that you can add to your system that's going to do this much.
Yeah.
You know, I've got clients that, you know, I want to upgrade my speakers. Well, let's try this first, right?
Yeah.
I got to go back and
yeah.
I was waiting for him to finish, but I didn't hear what you
I
said.
said nobody orders the double. He's like, well, I'll take a double. No, it's two guys sitting at a table. One guy orders the single, and he goes, I'll take the double. He goes, the double, sir. Nobody orders the double. And then it's end scene. If you can think of what movie that came from, I will be massively impressed. Jason and I say this almost all the time when we're together. Oh, nobody orders the double. Oh, then I'll take the triple. Yeah. I'll give you a hint. It's a Disney movie. Put it that
Disney
way.
movie. Wow.
Do. Come on. You can do it.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Condor Man. Condor Man was the name of the movie. Great movie. By the way, also on Kaleidescape. So
I did not see that movie.
Kaleidescape, best player on the market, historical player on the market.
Yep.
And Matt, so thankful that you jumped in on the show today.
I got a job for you, Matt, and when you leave today.
Golly, here we go again.
You have to go. You have to go and have them to put the Up in Smoke tour on Kaleidescape.
Oh, that's the music. That's Eminem and Dr. Dre, man. I'm not.
Well, that's where I would tell you, if you're doing disc to digital, scan everything, no matter if we have it in there today or not. That way, when we do get it, if and when we get it, you've already shown the ownership.
Oh,
I did that. I already scanned it. I'm waiting.
So one thing I did notice that was interesting on disc to digital is even if I don't buy the movies, it shows up on my screen.
Yeah.
Is it not do that on the smaller players? Or is that just a Strato S? They didn't, it just does it on a Strato S, or does it do it on all
You're cataloging it, so it's still going to show up, but you can't watch it until you buy it.
Right. It says please insert disc or whatever, which I was like, oh, does this mean I can play a disc off it? No, it doesn't.
No, but that's why it's nice because you can see your full library.
Right.
Right. You can, or how many titles you kind of have.
It's the guys that love to walked the aisles at Blockbuster, and that's the other thing. There's no more movie stores. There's no more any of that stuff.
Well, and like I said, you make sure that you come see the guys at Define and get the Kaleidescape Challenge.
Yes, come see those crazy lunatics and take the Kaleidescape Challenge. We're also doing special for people that want to do, that have C's, have M's, have E's, and things like that, and they're trying to figure out, navigate their ecosystem. We are doing some trade-ins. No, I'm not talking about the trade-ins online, so just call in and we'll talk about how all that stuff works for you, especially with the Strato C, because that gets into harder territory. But we'll help you out, and we're also doing the Kaleidescape Challenge, where not Kaleidescape, but we're giving you $100 out of our pocket in free movies. If you take the challenge, decide you want to buy a Kaleidescape, and we give you $100 in free movies on us, and then that way you can have movies for movie night and have the best form of entertainment, courtesy of these fine folks at Kaleidescape.
Do you have an expiration date on that?
No. Oh.
For the free movie. By the way,
no, they're not doing it for us. We're doing it.
No, I know, but I'm saying, do you have
No, I don't. Right. That just shows how much I believe on the. No, you don't count, Byron. No, that's just. No, but I was hearing your gears. I heard the gears from here.
Wait, did you get your $100?
I heard you say, but no, he got a lot of.
I said Ray. And my next comment was, I got a Kaleidescape I'll sell you for a great price. Let's talk.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so that is officially a cast with Matt Scarborough from Kaleidescape, who was kind enough to show up on a Saturday, answered all the questions that need to be answered. If you have any further questions, let us know. We'll field them through Matt, and then he's always a guest on the show, always welcome on the show. And we're going to keep trying to get top secret information out of him. So just because what we do. And he'll say...
We don't talk about future...
there you go. Because that's what I'll tell you. He won't tell us. We won't tell you.
And if he tells you, he'll have to kill you.
If he tells you, it's classified. Take that from the first Top Gun. I can tell you, but I'll have to kill you. All right, folks. Enjoy your Saturday cast. Happy 4th of July for next weekend. A lot of fun things going on there. And hope you listen and want to take the K-Scape Challenge. If you want to do that, let us know. What do you got?
Does that mean we're taking a break next week?
I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, so as you know, I'll be gone for the next couple of weeks. I'll be in Scotland, London, so...
Doing what? Oh, that's right. You're vacationing.
Yeah.
I was like, what top secret IMAX thing is going on in Scotland and London? All right. But anyway, we love you.
Braveheart, too. Sorry.
We will see you in a bit.
Make it do what it do, baby.